In the bottom right, in the red, he dumpstered, he stomped, he eviscerated his opponent in the semifinals. It's Dark. And coming off a bit different of a matchup, but a similar result. He is, for the Shopify Rebellion, it's Byun. Pet peeve, though, talking about how people can annihilate their opponents. I get minorly triggered when I hear people talking about how they've decimated something, because technically, to decimate something was a Roman punishment done to their legions and other things, where they would randomly kill 1 in 10, right? That's what decim means. It comes from decem, which means 10 in Latin. So decimating something really, in terms of totally wiping it out, doesn't really wipe things out all that much. Right, it's 1 in 10. It's 10%. That's significant. If you wipe out, 10% of your friends, that's a problem. That's not good. That is it's a tragedy, and the highest order. But it is not annihilation. We're not seeing anything super crazy in this game number 1 from Byun or Dark either. That tends to happen. Okay, best of 3, maybe you throw someone to the win, especially when you think you are very much the underdog, as Gumiho was in that last series. But in this setup, in best of 5 with Dark and Byun as much as they play, you're going to play a standard game here. At least in the early game, you're not going 3 racks all in like Gumiho did in game 1, and you're not going a different 3 racks all in like Gumiho did in game number 2. Instead, you're going to get your second base. That's always nice. You're going to actually get your 3rd CC here, which is always interesting because Cosmic is a pretty good Zerg map. It's wide open around the 3rd base. The one downside, of course, is you really only have access to about 6 bases. So as the game goes very late, it does become a little annoying for the Zerg, but on the flip side, it doesn't go that late. It's very hard for the Terran to hold the 4th. It's even harder for the Terran to hold the 5th. So we tend to see that the game get decided around like the 13-14 minute mark as Hive completes, and well, generally the Zergs have been playing a lot more Caveman Zerg as of late. Swing their big club around instead of going for a very technical, surgical composition of Lurkers and Ultras or Broodlords or whatever. It's just 3-3 Hydraling Bane Vipers. Smash the Terran over and over again, take as little damage in the mid game. Because what Terrans are starting to realize, or what Zergs have, I'm not even going to say starting to realize, but what Zergs have realized for a while is the fact that ghosts are, well, just a tad overtuned maybe. Certainly against a late game Zerg army, ghosts invalidate that for the most part. It forces you to play these 45-minute games that mine the entire map out and become a little bit painful for the Zerg, which, hey, if I get 1 of every 10 TVZs like that, yeah, absolutely. But when every single game goes 45 minutes and you're just like, this is pain. Nothing's happening. That's the big problem. And luckily we moved away from that a little bit as the Reaper gets out. Dark hits him with the question mark. When we have every single game, nothing happens from minute 20 to minute 35, or let's be real, 12 to minute 35, because both players realize they can't kill each other. That's not fun. When it gets into the late game through constant trading and constant action, that's a lot of fun. So, lair just about done here for Dark. Actually, a very quick lair, which will of course unlock. Well, actually, he is only on 1 gas, so this is not quick Spire play. This is just him getting a decently timed lair, but yeah, okay. So quick Baneling speed is going to be the name of the game from Dark in this game number 1. And actually, this might be, no, he's only going up to 5 gas. So, Ling Bane to start for Dark. That's going to be his first course, and then Hydra's after that, right around the time he takes his 4th base, probably going to a quick Hive. And that caveman style that we were talking about looks like the most likely course of action for Dark here in this game number 1. But Byun's upgrades, Byun's upgrades are stupid fast here in this game. He's been playing extremely greedy, and it seems like he's going to get away with it for the most part. His 1-1's halfway done as the upgrades of Dark starts, and Dark's upgrades are not slow. I mean, he got a quick lair. He's in a pretty greedy economic spot. He's already on 70 workers, but Byun has done a great job of advancing his tech well in advance of what Dark has in store. Is Dark adding the 4th and 5th barracks hatchery at the same time. So there we go. Infestation Pit on the way. 6:30 in the game. As Dark is... Both players really... I guess it must be the Cosmic Sapphire effect. Both players not all that interested in getting too much done. Creep spread for Dark is spreading very well. As Byun, now finally he's active on the map. With this 1-1 timing, which, make no mistake about it, folks, this is before Baneling speed is done. Not a lot of Banelings. Actually, do we have any Banelings on the map? Okay, we do have 7. This is a pretty scary timing from Byun. Before the upgrades of Dark complete, before Baneling speed completes, Byun had something, but now Baneling speed is done, and honestly, Baneling speed is more important than your 1-1 upgrades when we talk about ZVT. Now, 2-2, bit different, but when we talk about 1-1 here, absolutely, you do prefer Baneling speed over anything else. As Byun a little bit slow into his 2nd tier of upgrades, and I guess that's the only thing we're going to be talking about at this point. What went down? Okay, Hellion Reaper. And Byun, by the way, what did he... He built 2 Hellions and a Reaper. This was really not a lot of map control. We're seeing that really evidenced by the creep spread of Dark right now. He's got 3 distinct pushing lanes, 4 actually distinct lanes of pushing creep, all of them halfway on the map as a couple of Marines that will fall. The one spot he's missing is kind of on the right side, on the north side, but that's not really... Well, actually, that is where Byun is going to be pushing out, so maybe Dark wants to fix that one a little bit, but Dark really has so much pressure on the map right now. Drops are going to go in, but Queens are where they need to be. Oh, Lingbane run by actually coming in from Dark as well. Good target fire there from Byun. He knocks most of the Banelings down. Even still, plentiful links here. They do have 1-1 now, so that upgrade advantage that Byun had that he was leveraging and trying to fight with earlier on is not really there anymore. And his 2-2 is not nearly as fast as the 1-1 was. It's now Dark moving off grid, but the target fire of Byun! I've been casting Byun for a while, you know, as long as I've been casting StarCraft for the most part, and watching even before then, and I am just... I never cease to be amazed by how powerful, how insanely good Byun's target fire is. Those were speed banes, and he got like 5 of the 7 of them. That is insanely, that is not easy to do, and he just makes it look simple as hell. But Lingbane massive run by coming in from Dark on this side of the map. Banelings come crashing on in, but how many workers will they get? 3 for the moment. Banelings actually not really connecting, but that's fine, because I think Dark would rather have them connect on the minerals, but 6 workers will fall. And the SimCity of Byun is good enough. But oh, Byun maybe overcommits here just a little bit. Dark does recommit, so he's going to get a great surround. Target or friendly fire a little bit on the Widow Mines, but it gets more Lings than it does get Marines. So Byun actually holds on to that one fairly nicely. How many kills does that Widow Mine have? Okay, that felt like a lot more. Only 4 kills on that Widow Mine. But 2-2, or excuse me, Hive is done. Vipers are on the way. Adrenal Glands 2-2 halfway done for Dark. Upgrade is just about done for Byun, and again, he's going to look for that timing that he may be able to take advantage of, but Dark is never letting him really do that. Now, Byun does have this push on the other side. He will be able to cancel some of the... Actually, wait, do we have any... I don't think we have any Banes right here, because Byun is, of course, focused on the massive pressure on the other side of the map, but this pressure coming in from Byun as well seems very powerful indeed. Queens are starting to fall. Dark is just not transfusing. 2 Vipers die, or at least 1 Viper went down. And yeah, this is just the upgrade timing here. It's 2-2 versus 1-1. Queens are starting to fall. And yes, Byun did take damage on the other side of the map, but this is Byun actually just killing Dark in this game number 1. The 4th base is going to go down. I don't think there's really much of anything saving. In fact, Byun moves forward, and that actually is going to save the base just a little bit as more Lings do arrive, but that was so insanely cost effective from Dark, or from Byun in this game. And now Byun, he's got a ton of pressure on the bottom side. Dark had a base, but he's going to be forced to cancel it because, again, that run by did not get enough and got a couple SCVs. I think he got like 10 SCVs. That was just about it. Meanwhile, Byun got a lot more. He killed, what was that, 7 Queens, a Viper, a couple Banes that were morphing in. Banelings now kind of try to find that connection, but they're just all on Marauders. Granted, not a lot of Marines, though, so Widowmines get a decent connection, and looks like this push from Byun will be mostly dealt with as the Widowmines on the backside not going to get that much done, but they got personal healers, and from the far side of the cliff, the Marines are absolutely going to clean this up. Never mind. Dark now struggling to max out, or struggling not to max out, excuse me, struggling to get above 100 supply, as it's 84 army supply from Byun to 30 from Dark here, as he picks up, goes again, avoids the surround. And these 6 Marines, these 7 Marines, these heady few are doing tremendous work in this game. Now, a couple Marauders join the fray. Widowmines, well, they knock down the rest of those Banelings. They also knock down Dark's Hope in game number 1. Byun is on another level tonight. And the upper left side of the map, folks, in the red. He's down 1 because Byun just tore him apart. It's Dark. In the upper right, in the blue, he's up 1. He just turned on the taps. He's looking impressive. It's Byun. What happens in game 2? Dark went, and he was trying to survive. He's doing a good job. And then he goes to this. He was honestly maybe a little too over-aggressive. The style he was playing at is very much about getting to tier 3 as quick as possible, getting to Vipers, getting to heavy upgrades. And he went for those massive Ling Bane attacks that did not knock a base down. And in fairness, Dark was only on 4 bases anyways. He was not insanely far economically ahead where he can throw the Banelings required to kill a planetary away super easily. So he goes, and he sacrifices so much of his army, while in the meantime, a double drop from Byun finds like 7 queens. And with the queens down, the medevacs stay alive, and Byun had a 2-2, he had a 2 upgrade advantage, which then meant that Byun's army fought better. And by the way, Dark did go for 19 supply 3rd hatch, so he's being very greedy in this game. Just got to point that out. Anyway, so Byun's drop gets just about everything. It eventually gets cleaned up and actually doesn't get the base because Byun tries to get a little more aggressive. But knocking those queens down meant that Dark was not able to. He ran out of larva. We saw that happen about 2 minutes later, minute later. And then, well, the upgrade timings were just too damn powerful. So really it was all on the fact that Dark committed about 2/3 of his army to that run by that didn't get enough done. And Byun kind of killed him with a double drop. So I don't know that that happens again, as Byun is now, of course, trying to take his pocket natural. But the interesting thing, of course, is the fact that Byun is taking his pocket natural as his natural. I've seen a lot of Terran players taking that as their 3rd and taking the actual natural as their natural. But, well, as I say that, 6 one way, half dozen the other, because Byun's got his 3rd base on the way at the exposed natural. So both players, well, they're leaning into the fact that this is, in fact, Stargazers, and Stargazers is a greedy map. Not quite Moondance. Moondance is a lot of fun. Moondance was a lot of fun when it first was introduced to the map pool, where, well, oh, Byun, he doesn't get the drone though. He does prevent it from getting the cheap cancel. Of course, Extractor costs 25 minerals, a Spore costs 75, so you do want to gas cancel if you can. But Moondance in particular, where we had players just expanding at insane speeds, trying to make up for the fact that they had this quick base, but it wasn't as efficient as other bases were. So just an insane arms race of greed. Now, that's not exactly what happens in this game. Unfortunately, the Reaper will fall, which really does make up a good portion of the early game map control that Byun may be looking for, as he does have 4 Hellions on the field this time instead of 2. So he's going to have a little bit more ground control. Last time, he only made 2 Hellions in the Reaper. But with the 4 Hellions here, this means they one-shot Creep Tumors. So this is a little bit more map control that Byun is going to try to sharp around, and actually trying to dive in here, realizing, I don't know exactly what he saw, but he realizes in part that, well, there is no Ling speed, and more importantly, there's no lead speed on the way. So 4 workers will go down for 4 Hellions. Honestly, great surround there from Dark. That could have been a lot worse. It was only Queens defensively. But what is Dark going for? He's adding in more gas now. He does not have a Roach Warren. And you would expect to see a Roach Warren on the way. Did he just? No, he just went pure. Wow, I did not talk about this enough. These 2 gases are like these are the first 2. He dropped his gases at like 410. These are the first 2 gases that Dark has had in this game. There is gasless, and then there is whatever the hell Dark is doing in this game. He is He's already on 50. He's going to hit almost 60 workers by the 5-minute mark. This is ludicrously greedy. And I don't know that Byun is going to let him get away with it. But I'm excited to find out because I know what I'm doing on Stargazers from now on if this works out. So, Evo Chambers are on the way. Ling Speed now on the way. 5 minutes into this game as Dark is just really leaning into defensive queen play, but he's only on 7 queens. Not even on 9. So really just trying to leverage the fact that there is only really one salient point that Byun can push into for the most part, and that is through that natural, or through the low ground natural, I guess, not the pocket natural. But of course, this map is very droppable. So do we have any spores in this position? Yeah, we got one, but it's more in the mineral line as the queens are kind of set up for this. But Stim is done for Byun. +1, halfway done. Combat shield's on the way. And let's see, is this going to be ready? Speed is going to be done in time. Baneling Nest is going to be done in time. We do have a layer. I don't think Baneling Speed is going to be done, but actually, it seems like Dark might just get away with this. He's building more and more lings now. He's on 70. He's on 74 workers at the 6-minute mark. You know, when you're playing Zerg, normally it's like, well, you know, I got enough gas for my speed. I pull all but 1 gas off, and I drone until I'm full 3-base saturation. Then I take gas again. For the most part. This is that taken to an insane extreme. I know Dark's on 74 workers. He is maybe lacking 1 macro hatch. It's on the way. Oh, Byun does not want to drop it there. There are 5 queens. That is not exactly what you want to do, but he does drop a scan, and it cleans up actually a pretty decent amount of creep tumors here. On the he's going to get the high ground creep tumor too, but the queens there, that's kind of fine. Hydra's now on the way. Look at Dark's production tab. I mean, honestly, this is kind of disgusting, but ooh, lings are going to get found Byun target firing banelings, but only getting 1. Got a couple lings, and the pressure from Byun now starts in earnest. Bunch of Marines on the way at a time. His armory is actually late. Just a little bit, but it is late. So his tier 2 upgrades are going to be a little bit slower than he might like them to be otherwise. But even still, here comes the full pressure from Byun through the middle of the map. And Dark does not have the bottom left base, which is really the base that's hard for the Terran to push. So Byun through the middle of the map here, knocks down a decent amount of creep on the north side. Now he's going to knock down a bunch of it in the middle of the map here as Lings come rolling on forward. Widowmine in line of sight blocker. Banelings, well, they do not have speed. It's really hard to take them down. Widowmine doesn't get all that much in there. Baneling speed is done. Byun picks up just in the nick of time. But a drop on the bottom side. Run by, on the bottom side. But Banelings are here, so Byun not getting too much damage done there either. And the upgrades are much closer compared to game 1. Yes, Byun has a lead. He had an advantage. But it would not be all that close, except for the fact that Dark does not have his 2-2 upgrades started just yet until right now. So it's going to be about a 20-second window, not the significant one that Byun did have in game number 1. But yeah, they're also playing even greedier than they were in game number 1. As these Banelings will get decent connections, but Byun picks up with the rest of it. As well, Byun has his 4th base already on the way. Hive is going to complete at 8:30. I know I've been saying this all game, but Dark is he's so crazily greedy, and it looks like he's gotten away with it. Byun loses a couple Marines to the Banelings, really doesn't get the trades he's looking for. I mean, he gets Lings, but again, Lings for Marines, who really cares? And here comes Byun through the center of the map. 1 Baneling's in this position, so yeah, that's just going to get all shredded down here. That's actually a really nice trade there for Byun. That's a bunch of Lings for really not much gain. A couple of Baneling as well as now Byun. Where else is he on the map? Not there. So he's really only pushing through the middle of the map at the moment. Finds 1 Baneling for free, as another Baneling's going to show up. Byun targets this one down. Widowmines are going to be very nice indeed, but they also do decent damage to the Marines. So Byun, he loses what he does. He has to pick up, but that is, well, I guess only 11 kills on these Widowmines. But Byun now trying to push into this 4th base, but again, he's going to get knocked down. Good target fire at the Banes once again. Not quite as dazzling as we saw in game 1, but still. Excellent target fire. But Dark is just not bothered by this. Not really. Widowmines will now go down. And Byun is just not finding the pressure, not finding the value that he found. He's not breaking Dark down like he did in game number 1, but he does have his 4th base done on the way. He's adding in his 8 Raxes now. And that's target fire there on the Observers going down. But these 2 medevacs, they will fall. Well, actually, 1 will fall to the Widowmine friendly fire, but it's so... Oh, actually, wait a minute here. We talked about what happened last time, right? It was 1 little drop on the other side of the map that killed Dark, and, well, Byun's kind of doing it once again. But we're not seeing the insane over-aggression from Dark at the same time. So, what was lost there? Big deal, no Vipers. That's what I was looking for. Dark's on 5 aces, 6 hatch. He's on 88 workers. Byun is on 80 himself, and the thing that I've been talking about a little bit as we've been watching this series and also WTL earlier this evening, we've seen Terran players start to more and more. As, ooh, nice little drops. Gonna find a queen, find a Hydra as well, or maybe not the Hydra. We've seen Terran players more and more go for quad orbital, not take a planetary on their 4th base, because just how the Zerg has been playing, it's like that's just kind of we've seen these greedy Zerg players that just run banelings into things. It's just better to lose the SCVs and keep the orbital alive, and then you have mules and you're fine. But look at what we have from Dark here. First of all, he's got a bunch of dropper lords on the way. They're actually done now, but he is going overlords behind this, and actually great scout there from behind. He's aware that there are dropper lords on the way, missile turrets or sensor towers, excuse me. No, those aren't missile turrets. Going down, Lings are going to try to knock this drop right down, and Byun picks up. Good abduct there. That's a full medevac of stuff. And here comes Dark, marauding forward, looking to hit Byun with his massive caveman club, because this is caveman Zerg 2AT. And in a game like this, as much as I hate ultras, I don't really hate them in this game necessarily, because let's be real, Dark is rich. He can afford the expense that are ultras, and he's gonna get them fast enough that it probably will be okay. As Widowmine's, oh, big shot there. Widowmine number 1, piercing bomb on the medevacs as Byun kites backwards, but he's kiting backwards through a minefield. Let's see how well this. Oh well, nope, that's not gonna work for Dark, not at all. How many kills did that have? 23 on that Widowmine. Well, I've seen a couple Widowmine shots that have looked more powerful than they were, but not this game. That shoved Dark back pretty tremendously, and actually ate a lot of Dark's gas bank out the window. But now ultras are on the way, 4 ghosts at a time though, and the way a Terran can lose this from a situation that's actually pretty nice for them is when they commit to ghosts, and then it is just pure caveman unga bunga Zerg. But with the ultras on the way, occupying so much supply, getting the ghosts is not quite as painful as it sometimes is. The Marauders here just forming a wall at the front. Lings trying to find their way through. Widowmines actually get not the connections that they're looking for. Triggered on the scant few Lings that are there, but that Widowmine is a little bit better. And Byun is forced back just a little bit, back to the safety of his 4th base. But honestly, he's kind of fine with that. He's got 4 bases, sure, but he's got 5, 6, and 7 orbitals on the way. He is going to start to mine whatever he wants to mine, mule whatever he wants to mule, and we still have not seen Dark make use of those dropper lords. Can't help but wonder if he meant to make those overseers, actually. Don't really know. But, you know, Dark is one of these players that, like, if he's going to make dropper lords, he's going to use them immediately. Chekhov's dropper lords, right? If the gun is on them, or the overlord is in the base in the 1st act, should probably be used by the 3rd act. We're going to have to see there wing Widowmine shots coming in once again, as Byun is really primed to hold this position, but Marauders are not really where they need to be. Widowmines are absolutely insane, really on both sides, targeting so much down, but Byun, he's got to go behind here. Got to go behind the wall. Snipes go down. Ultras are just dead. What a hold there from Byun. I actually don't know who took that worse, because, well, Byun, he killed 11 of his Marines, 2 ghosts, a medevac, probably even more. Dark really didn't kill much of anything. The majority of that damage was done by Byun, as Widowmines kind of were friend and foe at the same time. But Byun does stay alive, snipes the ultras on down. But here comes a push on the bottom right side again. This is going to be an orbital, so you can just kind of pick up and run. EMPs on the Vipers, or at least on one of the Vipers. Ling's looking for that surround. Target fire on the Banelings, as the Ghosts, they cloak up, they run away. Marauders at the front lines here. The splits from Byun are effervescent. They're dazzling, they're sparkling. And again, Dark does not find the value he's looking for. He gets 5 workers, but there we go. What is that? 60 Lings with 3-3 and Adrenal. Or 3-2, excuse me. And Adrenal here going into Byun's natural. One missile turret is not going to be enough here. Finally, Chekhov's Overlord put on the mantle in the 1st act, fired in the 3rd act here, and Byun is going to have to respond to this one pretty significantly, but he already has got a couple ghosts in position. And the rally is actually handling this for the most part. Not a lot of damage done, really, as Dark is going to burrow up in the main base. Scan does have to get dropped here. Not sure if Byun is aware, but meanwhile, where's my mouse? Into the 3rd base. Here comes a lot more pressure. 24 workers have gone down, but still Byun just picks up. He runs away. Losing SCVs is honestly kind of fine, as long as he does not lose his tech, as long as he does not lose his production. Because again, he's on 8 orbitals. He's fine. He's on 64 workers still. He's actually probably not going to rebuild. He's going to rebuild those SCVs in part, I guess, but not really going to rebuild them too much because, again, he has the mules that he needs. SCVs really there to build more structures, and they are to build more gas. So more and more ghosts are on the way as Byun again remaxes and resources lost here. It's actually not as bad as I thought it was. It's only 6k in Byun's favor at this point. I was thinking like 8 to 10. But there's Nidus on the way because Dark is starting to realize they can't take this fight in the front. Widowmines, they got a burrow, but they're not going to be able to do so just yet. Nice abducts there, but only one ghost will go down. It's going to be for a lot of Dark slings, a lot of Dark's pains. That, again, is not going to work out all that much. Is in the bottom left side here. Ooh, Dark's got a bit of a surround coming in, bit of a flank into the third base of Byun. But, again, it's just not getting all that much. Lings, again, they go in and burrow, and we do need to see, it feels like we do need to see missile turrets everywhere, and that is exactly what Byun is going to start doing. But there we go, Nidus in the main, or excuse me, in the natural of Byun. And Byun his multitasking is being sorely pressed here. His army is, it feels like he's just not really sure what he needs to be as the Bane Lings come crashing, and that's massive. Scan gets dropped as well, but these Lings will go down pretty quickly here. Byun, can he defend the bottom right side base? The Nidus is not getting what he needs, but Dark has found an opening, a salient point, as if you will. Widowmines go off. Oh, the Ultras go down. Byun has plenty of army here, but there are still more Banelings coming rolling on in. The Ghosts, they're close, they're kiting backwards. Byun, is this going to be enough? Oh, Widowmine! It gets so much friendly fire, but the Ultra is going to be able to kite it backwards. Ultra will go down, snipes from downtown, but more and more Banelings come rolling on in. It still feels, though, that Dark has finally broken Byun down at this point. 117 supply to 159, but Dark's economy, Dark's bank is now gone. We need to see a scan here beyond those Lings that can cause problems for you later on. 20 workers go down, a lot more in the army. And actually, somehow, that was cost effective for Dark. He was down 6k, now he's down 5k, as this Dropper Lord is really only used as a scouting position for more Nidus to pop up. And the snipe, it actually takes 2 snipes to kill an Overlord, so that's going to be a bit annoying. But the rally is going to knock this Nidus down. And the Lings now, they're going to pop up into the natural, where a bit of a rally is going to be able to deal with this. And as the missile turret's there, yeah, these Lings are dead. But it does distract Byun a little bit more, as we see Dropper Lords rallying, Dropper Lords rallying with a bunch of Lings. I would love to see Ultra drops, by the way. But we're not going to see that one, unfortunately. And Byun is starting to max out once again, and even though he's on 64 workers, his income is incredible. He's at 4,000 minerals a minute. He will be able to remax soon enough. And his gas count is just enough to build the Ghosts and the Marauders and the Medivacs that he wants to build. So here comes Dark once again, setting up another massive attack, but great snipe there on the Viper to start. Banelings come rolling in, and the Marauders aren't really where they need to be to tank, but those Widowmines will do a great job on the right side. Seems like this will be dealt with for the most part as well. It burrows, but it's the drop in the natural. That is what is starting to cause the value in this game. It's always one spot. Dark always just like at one more spot than Byun can deal with, and now the army comes crashing in. Banelings get great connections because, again, are you going to micro in the main base? Are you going to micro in the national? Are you going to micro in the third? Are you going to micro in the fourth? Where the hell do you have to play if you're Byun? The answer is everywhere. So now Byun only on 31 workers. Dark, he has every base on the map that he can realistically take. He's got the gold. He's got the bottom left. He's mined out his main. He's mined out his natural, but that's kind of fine, as the scan does need to get dropped here as well. But Byun just struggling to keep this 5th base up. And as much as I talked about how interesting this just only orbital, no planetary style is, it does feel like Dark is starting to punish that, because at least Mass Repair can deal with Ling run-bys, Ultra run-bys, things like that in part. It's when the Banelings come crashing in that's the problem. But Dark's, honestly, his economy, he's been spending it as much as he's been making it. So that would not really be cost-effective. And Byun has just lost really too many SCVs at this point. But Lings come rolling in, but the Banelings are not there just yet. So Byun, with good snipes, maybe he's going to be able to get what he needs. Target fires there, splits backwards, Ghost splitting backwards as far as you can. Remember, 6 Bane's kill Ghosts, and they will not go down for the most part. These splits from Byun are fantastic, but folks, I don't know how much it matters. Honestly, I don't think it does. It's 6 workers dead, but 33 workers for Byun. He's down 30 army supply as well. This is not one of those games where the Terran loses his economy but has his army, and Byun now feels a desperate need to go across the map to make something happen here, because if he does not kill Dark right now, or at the very least, if he does not equalize this game in the extreme, he is going to be well and truly dead. Ghost snipes go down, but, well, Banes prevent that from happening. One Ultra is still alive, and that seems like, oh, that's so cool. We see Dark, he drops the Nidus, forces the Byun to micro around. It serves really as a force field in this engagement, and Byun was dead anyways, but man, what a cherry on top. Dark 1-1. Bottom left side of the map, folks, in the red, tied up at 1 apiece. His name is Dark. And of course, Nipper writes in the blue. He won game 1, but unfortunately, he could not micro in 5 or 6 places at once. What a shame. It's Byun. Okay, so we had Byun really just kind of break Dark's fingers in game one. I think that's the best way to say it. Dark tried to get too aggressive. Byun held that, and his upgrade timing. Anyway, the upgrade timing, the 2-2 versus 1-1 timing allowed Dark to kill, or Byun to kill Dark. Game two, Dark just flexed on Byun. The game went late. He held on. He forced Byun to defend his natural, right, with the Dropper Lords and the Nidus eventually. Defend his main base with Dropper Lord and Nidus. Defend his fourth base with just massive amounts of stuff. Defend his fifth base with massive amounts of stuff. And I think the Lynx found their way into the natural as well. Like, every single base of Byun's was attacked at once. And yes, that it was a significant commitment. If Dark did not find the value he did, he probably does not work out for him. But how the hell as a Terran are you supposed to deal with that? The answer is by having more pressure on the map, by not allowing a Dark to do that one. So Byun goes back to Old Faithful. 2-1-1 here in game number 3 on Data C. And Dark is not opening to the insane level of greed that he did in game number 2, right? With the dropping gas at 4 minutes. that was very, very greedy for the man. So, 2-1 on the way, and 2-1 is actually very nice for the Zerg if they do hold it, right? Because what it means is the Zerg does not have to build a single army unit. And actually, Dark has kind of realized this. He only built 2 Lings. He kind of saw that there was no Reaper on the map, so he only built the 2 Lings, and really, if he had his druthers, he would have built none. But you don't have to build a single Ling. You don't have to build a single Bane. You don't have to build a single fighting unit until about 4:30. Maybe 4 minutes, which means you can drone incredibly hard. And then you just got to build up to your 34-ish Ling count, and then you have all your queens, and you're able to brush aside the 2-on-1 if you're able to do it properly. And of course, Byun is the master of the 2-on-1. He invented this build. He won a world championship and a GSL off of this build and the Reaper build, to be fair. But it feels like it's been mostly figured out. We started to see it become a little bit more popular earlier this summer when Mario was introducing a third medevac with a Widowmine and 6 Marines to really amp up the pressure even more. And in the expense of that, of course, it was only single upgrade, only +1, not 1-1. And that started to win for a while, and then Zerg kind of figured it out a little bit. These are much quicker upgrades from Dark in this game number 3. Game 1 and 2, he got his lair quicker, he got his baneliness quicker. Game 3, though, because I think in part this map is so big, well, we're going to have some pretty quick upgrades coming in from Dark, and especially considering this is a 2-1-1, which, again, you don't get your e-bills very quickly at all. In fact, Byun does not have his just yet. Dark, if he survives this pressure, is going to be miles ahead in upgrades. His army is going to be... He's going to be able to fight with Pure Ling Bane for quite a while very easily, as the Overlord's going to see the Marines and find that position. The funny thing is, not every position on that S-shape is technically high ground vision. It's only where the pylons actually are. Now, Overlord will go down, and Dark does get supply blocked, but he's got 21 Lings on the map, more on the way, and, well, here comes the pressure of Byun. Baneling Nest, by the way, not done. So one way you do hold against the 2-1-1 is you get a couple Banes, and it just... Bio kites as much as he can, but not enough. And actually, Dark's going to lose another Overlord. 2 down. Again, supply blocked here, and he's going to be supply blocked for a decent amount of time now, but 4 more Overlords are on the way, so that's going to be fine. Lings on the high ground, just prevent this pressure from happening for the most part. Behind this, we have tanks. So it's not going to be the Widowmine playing necessarily, but I could well, okay, that's going to be the third. Oh, yeah, okay, this is really interesting. So third medevac is just about done before it gets the reactor, which does now mean as Bio steps forward here, one queen will just fall. Well done. Drone dies as well. Byun, I think, is going to add on to this with a lot more pressure. You're going to add the tank as another second queen falls. Well done, Byun. Only loses really half HP on one medevac, which is kind of an acceptable resource at this point. So more tanks are on the way, but does Byun move out with this, or is this just defensive position? I kind of think he does. This is kind of cool. Fourth base is going to get canceled once again. We need to see Dark just kind of expand linear fourth, I think. How many queens have died? Okay, 3 queens, and Hatch denied twice. That's very nice here, as now Byun brings the rest of his army together, understanding now that this is where Dark is going to be expand. He's got 2 tanks in this push. This is a very interesting 2-1-1, and here comes the Byun moving forward, but, well, the army's just not picked up just yet, so a lot of Marines, they got to run away, and, oh, that's what Byun's going to do. He's going to drop on the other side of the rocks here, siege up as the Byun looks to run behind. Great target fire there on the Banes. A couple of them will fall, and now Byun sections the army of Dark away from the nice, safe, comfy environs of his own base. Banelings are now going to try to morph in, but not really all that much. Target fire there on the tanks. He's actually going to kill a lot of these Marines, but the Banelings will fall here as well. This is just not cost effective for Dark. The Marines, they hide behind the tank. One of them will fall. I think, yeah, it will, but the other tank is still alive, and Byun, that was pretty damn cost effective for the Terran player, but he needs more. His third base now on the way. He's got third base now floating over to location. And Dark has 1-1. Byun is halfway done. Dark's 2-2 is on the way. His economy is not incredible. He's only on 60 workers. His fourth base is not done yet, so that's nice. But his upgrades are fantastic. Of course, the other thing we have to point out is Baneling speed is not done. It will really be done, I'm not going to say around the time of 2-2, but it will not be done for quite a while, which means this pressure from Byun is really powerful, especially if the target fire is as dazzling as it often is for Byun as he moves forward, kites back. And I think this is just going to be a dead fourth base for Dark again. I don't know that he has what it takes to defend this. He's not even trying. Expanding once again to the other position as this run-by is just not getting what it needs. 4 SCVs will fall and a little bit of friendly fire from the tank, but that is a lot of Marines going down. That being said, Byun, or Banes will go down, but that being said, Byun will get broken back off this position slightly. He does lose the tank. But there was still a lot of Lings that have gone down. Byun not massively skyrocketing in supply, though. He's only on 5 barracks. With the damage he's done, I would not mind seeing him drop barracks 7, 8, 9, go for an 8 racks behind this, because he has so much tempo on that. It's a 3-base Zerg. And a 3-base Zerg is just very, very sad. Need now Byun stimming into the mineral line. He's going to get 7 workers. And then he picks up as the Banelings arrive. But 1 medevac, actually the full medevac. You got to be very careful here, Bun. Byun will escape. Okay, that's good. So now Byun, I don't know that he actually is going to have to swap what's in the medevac. Unfortunately for him, unfortunately for a Dark fan, if you're a Dark fan, 10 of Byun's army supply didn't fall out of the sky. But even still, it is a fantastic situation for Byun in this game. So how does Dark look to leverage what he has? He has much better upgrades. He's got Hydras on the field now. He does have Baneling speed. Those are the advantages in this game. But because of the damage he's taken, because only just now is he above 70 workers, only just now does he have his fourth base for real, we're not going to see a quick hive. Not like we saw in Game 1 and Game 2. He is going to have to bend and not break for the next several minutes as Byun continues to leverage the pressure, but also Byun is not A-Raxing this. I kind of thought he might, but he is adding that fourth base on the way, taking advantage of this just macro position to get further macro ahead. But we saw how powerful Dark looked in the late game. We saw how he was just able to leverage his position and attack Byun in 5 places at once, and that was very, very scary. But now, Byun Doom dropping into the main base here. And this is a position that actually is very difficult for Dark to fight because there's the tank on the low ground. And actually, this tank split is fantastic. A couple Marines dealing with the Lings, and now, well, there's just not a lot of Banelings in the main base, but Byun doesn't quite target fire as well as he should, so he has to cut backwards. Tanks go down on both sides, and this was not quite as scary as I think Byun intended it to be. It's like when you go to a haunted house and the actor forgets to put their mask on, and then the lights go up, and it's like, well, hi, friend. Hi, Fred. Haven't seen you since yesterday, you know. But Byun, this one is a little bit more powerful. It stems into the fourth base, and it's actually not going to get all that much done. And notice Dark preemptively put stuff in the main base here, but this choke is actually fantastic here for Byun. As the Hydras arrive, that might do it. Target fire there from Byun on the Baneling, and Dark just keeps backing and forward. This is starting to become very cost inefficient for Dark, or for Byun for Dark. There we go. At this point, as the Banelings morph, so that will force things back, and Byun, he is actually, it's crazy. As we've watched Game 1, Game 2, Game 3, we've seen a game where Dark has leveraged his multitasking and slain Byun. Just take him out back and popped him on the head. And we've seen in Game 1 and now in Game 3 a little bit where, because of really it is a momentum play, Byun's multitasking is starting to tear apart Dark just a little bit. And really all comes down to momentum. Byun denied the fourth base twice. He's always been able to be on his opponent's side of the map, which means Dark can't get away with those multi-prong insane positions that Dark had in Games 1 or in Game 2. And now the army moves forward. Widowmine's looking to burrow up here on the ramp. And Dark looking for the surround. He's not going to find it just yet. Byun kites backwards here. Marauders at the front serving as that wall. Widowmines, how good are the connections? Oh, they're massive on the backside. Friendly fire is going to be nice, but now, well, Byun does have to run. The friendly fire kind of saved Dark in that scenario. The first couple Widowmines were fantastic, but they allowed a couple Banelings, I think, to connect. And Byun is forced back just briefly. But again, resources lost here. Surprisingly, only about 3,000. In the favor of Byun. And how this game has been going, it felt like there's a little bit more, but the Widowmines are, yeah, they're going to get targeted down. Well, yeah. Hydra's outrange Widowmines, so that's going to be the end of that one. Poor Widowmines not really able to find what they want. But the other thing we got to talk about here, because Byun is really showing us what's happening, the creep spread of Dark is not good. It is barely, it's his quarter of the map, and that is just about it. Dark only just now taking his 5th base. Widowmine will go down, but the economy of Dark, chat, not very good. The map control of Dark, not very good. And this army is decent, but Byun kiting away from this one as he goes, and he just takes down the 4th base of Dark. Lings will follow here as well, so now we're starting to see the real big difference in this game as Lings, they come rolling or rallying on forward. Byun has his 3-3 on the way. No 3-3 from Dark at this point. He instead going for +2 range, which is a really weird decision. But it really, I think it is a money decision. 3-3 is very expensive, at least +2 range is a little bit cheaper. And these Hydras have been pretty effective for Dark thus far. And Byun did not get the base, surprisingly enough, as this drop, well, I think that was the infestation pit, which I think was partially aided by the Viper sucking it down. But anyways, Queen will go down. And I think, no, Queens have transfuses, so 4th base will not go down, but Byun again finds that insanely cost-effective position that he found earlier in this game. And Hydras, they do a little bit more now, but all the Lings are dead, which means Byun can pick up or I thought he was going to stem on top, but this drop is finally dealt with, but it's just buying time because Byun, he's got the base on the bottom side. Dark is a 4-base Zerg once again, and his 4th base is not happy, not healthy, 50% HP. And now Byun, his 3-3 is on the way, or 3-3, excuse me, is done. Natural, by the way, of Dark, mostly mined out. Only 4 mineral patches, not a ton of minerals in those patches. Main base actually very much mined out. Byun, though, has his 5th base, so it's a Terran who's up 1 base on a Zerg, up 50 supply on the Zerg. And unfortunately, we don't even have Adrenal. Honestly, if you get Adrenal, you don't necessarily need +3 melee. I mean, you want it because it makes your Banelings better, but Adrenal is effectively an additional +3 upgrade, so it makes your Lings almost like +5. Of course, it only applies to Lings, but anyway, Lings are going to go forward here. Widowmine's not necessarily getting the burrow they wanted. Parasitic Bomb goes off on the medevacs. Actually, 2 of them. Gun splits aren't incredible, but the splits of his army absolutely are. He's going to stem forward here. Do we have any Banelings on the field? We have 1. It's on the right side. It's not going to be enough here. The Hydras are trying to stand the tide, but they will not do so. And Byun now up 2-1. But yeah, Vavex, that was not a debate that I had ever been aware of when I made that video. But interesting. And Mental PvP, thanks so much for the follow. We are now 14 followers short of 3K. All right, folks. Game 4 is on Waterfall, and honestly, this has me a little bit hopeful for Dark. Waterfall is a map that looks like it's a Terran map, and then you realize that it's like 55-45. And at times, it's gone 60-40 in favor of the Zerg. So that's always a little bit of fun, folks. We're into game number 4. Bottom left side of the map, folks, in the red. He's down 1 map, and we're going to have to see if he's able to sustain the pressure his opponent is putting on. He is for DPG. It's Dark. upper right side of the map in the blue, up 2-1 for the Rebellion, Byun. Would you look at that? I'm a poet. Don't even know it. Hardy har har har. Incredible. Byun actually taking a page out of a specials book in this game, number 4, building his barracks at the natural, which does mean that any Reapers he makes, they go a little bit further on. Oh, interesting. So he's building Marines out of this. I very much expected this to be Reaper play, but what this does mean is he gonna be able to. Is he gonna get the Overlord? I don't think he does actually. Well, actually, no. He's gonna have 2 Marines. Yeah, this Overlord is dead. That's actually a really cool play. That's actually a really cool setup here from Byun in this game. Now, normally when we see the wall like that, it's something special does. He gets Reapers across the map, and it's a bit annoying. But the Overlord's going to scout in the main base. It's going to see there's nothing there, but really there's nothing to see. It's 2 minutes into the game. You see the factory and the barracks, and really this is just an Overlord running away as Dark tries to buy time to get extra Overlords on the map, but he is very supply blocked, 28 out of 20. And that was even, he was supply blocked even before that Overlord went down. That's how much of a problem this is. He is not going to be able to build anything for quite a while, building more Overlords right now. Now, Marines onto the other side of the map here from Byun. Are they going to be able to get anything else? I don't think so. But maybe. No. Overlord is staying very safe. But I love the innovation we're seeing in TVZ from. I don't know that we're seeing as much innovation from Mar necessarily, but Byun has been throwing a bunch of weird stuff in TVP and TVZ, both in the last month or so. We see this build. A 2-1-1's not all that weird, but the 2-1-1 with that tank follow-up is kind of interesting. He's been going for Hero Marine-esque pushes in TVP a lot. And by the way, this is a 2-1-1 behind this. Not something that Dark was able to scout out. But Dark seems to have some idea of what's happening in this game because he's got a Roach Warren on the way. And that is one way to deal with this perspective pressure coming in for... Wait, no. Is this Hellbat timing? Getting this Hellion is weird. I feel like this is a Hellbat timing. It's like a Hellbat Stim timing 2-1-1 thing. Stim is a bit late. No, Stim's gonna be done by 5 minutes. Normally, it's 2-1-1, right? You either go 2-1-1. Or, that's 2-1-1 by itself, you don't get Hellions. Or you go the TY 2-1-1 that hits at 5:30, a minute slower, but it hits with, but you get a couple Hellions as well, and you get that third base. This is a weird middle-of-the-road build, where Byun has opted for 3 Hellions, and maybe he's going to drop these? I don't know. But Roaches are on the way, and it's always an interesting setup as Byun finds himself pretty supply blocked, honestly. An interesting setup here, as these Hellions will not see these Roaches. Hellions, like, one might argue that one of the reasons you go for this push is the Overlord needs to get sniped down. There it goes. With the Queens in the main base, I don't think these Marines get too much done, and more importantly, they don't get behind the mineral line. They don't actually see what is coming. But, oh, Hellions find their way into the third base. A couple workers will fall. And now there's the big scout. Sees the Roaches here. Byun, you gotta build tanks. Actually, build them yesterday, but today would be pretty nice here as well as 5 workers do go down, make it 6. So that's something. But the tanks are, or excuse me, the Roaches are already gonna show up on the other side, but there are no Ravagers just yet. So Liberator sieges up this high ground position and it gets something done. Now Byun sees that there are Ravagers on the way, and really you would prefer Cyclones for this hold, but tanks can do well enough, especially if you make sure that they are not where the Liberator is, as the files will not go down just yet. Tank gets a good shot, 1 Ravager falls, and the bunker is the only thing that takes any bit of damage, and, well, we're going to see the Supply Depot go down. That kind of is fine as Byun shows his way down the ramp a little bit. Stim is done in 10 seconds, and the Ravagers, they've already spent their loads, so 2 of them will fall, for a couple of Roaches die. Byun is holding this tremendously easily. It really does feel almost like a positive, I'm not gonna say a build order win, build order advantage from Byun in this game. Is he has a big beefy wall that is very hard for Dark to tear through, He had tanks on the way. This is kind of a weird tech-heavy 2-1-1. He had a Liberator already on the way. That, yes, Liberators against Ravagers, not the best, but they are able to defend a position until the Ravagers are ready. I don't know. I really enjoy the shenanigans that we're seeing from Byun in this series. Actually, in this game in general. So this pressure from Byun, by the way, Dark has been able to get himself up to a decent worker count, 62 workers, as the Liberator is going to siege up the gas, and well, Spore moves, but we're going to see Byun continue to do this. I think. Oh, the Unburrow immediately. Well done there, Dark. He's got the read, but I'm worried about this pressure. But the two tanks here, Roaches, they're really not a lot of Ravagers. Byun actually still some top. One Ravager will fall down immediately. Roaches move forward, but one tank sieged, one tank unsieged, and the Bile's not even going to kill it. Ravagers continue to fall. Looks like one is still alive. Great transfuse there. And it looks like Byun will be forced back. And actually, the big deal there, Medevac went down, so no real saving this composition. Byun, I thought that he might have had an opportunity, but not quite enough. So now Byun's third base is on the way. 1-1 halfway done. It's going to time out pretty well with the 1-1 of Dark. But the next thing we got to look at is how much Dark is... There we go. Liberator's dead. Is how much Dark is going to commit to this timing, and how much Dark is going to commit to the next. Is this 1-1 roach play? And the fact that link speed is just about done tells me that he might be transitioning out of this. Might be going 1-1 roaches into getting +1 melee, getting Ling Bane, going this Roach Ravager Ling Bane old school composition. But we're going to have to see. Because for right now, Byun getting a little active on the map with a double drop. That is one of the downsides, of course, of Roach play, of Roach Ravager play. You don't really have the or you don't really have the space control, the map control, the ability to respond to drops that you might like, that you might have with Ling Bane or something like that. So here we go, dropping the main base. More Overlords are going to get targeted down, and Dark has been rather victimized by this thus far in this game, but luckily he's already supply capped out, so he's going to be fine there. And actually a bunch of Queens are going to show up, but the transfuses are actually very good, but not going to be good enough. The Queens, they all will fall. One Medevac still alive, so Byun's going to lose half these Marines, and the other ones, well, they're going to fight for their lives, and they will die. But that was a bunch of Queens going down, a bunch of Overlords going down, and Dark not supply blocked, but he does need to build at least one other Overlord to bring himself back up to supply max, supply cap. But Dark seems like he wants to get real. Yeah, he's going here. He's got Lings as the follow-up. This is a 1-1 roach timing, though. I thought this might be transition into Ling Bane behind this, but no. This is just Lings, so once he breaks through the army, he does have quick reinforcements. Here comes the army, but this tank line is fantastic. It's all on the high ground. The Ravager Vials are really not going to find what they're looking for. Not just yet. SCVs have to get pulled, though. And does Byun have what it takes? I think he does here. Vials actually get two of the tanks, though that's unfortunate. But, well, now here Byun stims down the ramp. 10 workers have gone down. The drop from Byun on the other side is going to kill the fourth, or at least it would have if Dark had stayed in this game. Byun taking a dazzling, a dominant 3-1 victory over Dark in this series. Oh, what a treat, though.